Right, so welcome to another video on barcode scanners, and today we have a bit of a weird one. This is the symbol CS1504, also known as the Motorola CS1504 or the Zebra CS1504, because they change their branding every 5 minutes. Now this thing is a compact handheld scanner. Can't really see the line it's producing there. Let's scan it at the phone maybe. Anyway, it does have a laser in there. Standard like mirror-based laser, you might be able to hear it. Yeah, so it's quite old-fashioned in the way it works. It's not LED-based or anything, it's literally got a laser in there. I'm not going to take this apart. There's a really good teardown video by another person on YouTube, Chris I think his name was. So I highly recommend you go check that out, because this is a cool little scanner. You can kind of see the laser there. It's a bit too bright to show it on the desk. Anyway, so the idea of this is it can store barcodes in internal memory. And you've got a plus and a minus button on there, so you can add, remove, and that's really all it does. On the side it has what looks to be a USB cable, but it's not, because it comes with this, which is most definitely a 9-pin serial cable with the USB connector on it, and it comes with this USB to serial adapters. A really weird system. I have no idea why they did this, but I haven't been able to date these at all. But the SDK for making software for this, the latest version is from 2003, so it has to be older than 2003. So yeah, I mean, it carries the symbol logo, but to be fair, you can buy a brand new freaking Android rugged PDA that has the symbol logo on it still. The brand is not dead, just company's different ownership. So, how good is it at scanning then? So we have the standard test barcode here, and it's got a really cool noise, I like that. As you can see, it's really good at scanning. It takes about 5 centimeters to scan, but it will scan all the way up. Obviously it can't, well, actually, it can scan at weird angles as well, which is weird. Normally you can't do that. So to clear the memory, you hold down the minus button. The light's flashing to say the battery's dead, by the way, but it's got a brand new Duracell in there, weird. Yet the battery it came with, it would not so say that the battery's low, but it definitely wouldn't scan, and the laser was very dim, so obviously the battery monitor in there is kind of weird. You can kind of see the laser now. Look at that. So yeah, add product, remove product. So how do you actually use this thing then? So it's a total pain. For a start, the USB serial adapter, I can't remember the brand of the chipset in these, but it's kind of like FTDI, who used to do all the serial chips and that. They made a driver for it that basically bricks all the non-genuine chips. This must contain a non-genuine chip, because the official driver that, I think, oh, it's prolific, that's it. This is a prolific one, and I think the latest driver for it will not run this, because apparently it's non-genuine. Yeah, it's direct from Symbol. So obviously Symbol was money pinching on these. So you have to use an older 2008 driver to get this to work, or just use a computer with a real serial port. And that's not even where the fun stops, because even with a real serial port or anything, getting the serial thing to work, I mean, the USB to serial adapter screwed out, I can get that to work easy, but actually interfacing with this thing, mega pain. There's actually a documentation about sending serial data and getting data from it. No matter what I sent, I couldn't get any response. I eventually found the Opticon OPN 2001, which is basically a brand new version of this, in a different casing with built-in USB, but the SDK is identical, but it's actually up to date for the latest version of Visual Studio and Visual Basic. So I was able to make a little app for Windows 10 in 64-bit and everything that could communicate with this, get data from it, and it was a very short program thanks to that SDK. So I'll leave a link to that in the description. but I can't really think of a use case for this. The only thing I can think of is wedding registries. That is a great example for this. You give the bride and groom one of these, go around the entire shop, they can get a reduced 32 gig flash drive here. There you go, that's on their wedding registry now. What else do I have? Arctic MX4 thermal paste. Every wedding groom needs that. Oh, where's the USB fan gone? Gotta have this USB fan. And then go back to the I don't know, cashier or something, and plug in the cable, and they'll be like, "You've bought a fan." Well, they haven't bought a fan, but you've registered for a fan. Gonna be honest, not entirely sure how wedding registries work. Never done one. Don't really plan to anytime soon. Another thing these are apparently used for is primitive loyalty cards. Before you had the plastic loyalty cards, because a lot of shops back in the day, their terminals were so old they didn't actually have any connection to the internet, and they couldn't do the equivalent of what is now known as like Tesco's Club Card or something. They would give you these, you scan all your items, and then you get home and you use a piece of software that they provide and upload all the data to them through your internet connection, which is a bit weird, but it was basically really primitive version of loyalty cards before they updated the point of sale terminals. So yeah, really interesting product. It's powered by a couple of coin cells in there. There's no date code on it at all. That's really annoying. Made in Mexico of all places. It's a class 1 laser, by the way, which means you could totally stare at it all day, but I wouldn't recommend doing that. But no, I cannot find any date code on this at all, which is a shame, because pretty much every other symbol product has a date code in it, which is humanly readable month and year. Oh well. Cool little product.